You felt a theme from this team during this 4-game skid you're on right now?
No, not one single theme. But tonight was ugly. Tonight was ugly. It's just not. It's just something that's not acceptable. I don't care how talented they are or anything else. We just allowed them to really do whatever they wanted to, and so. I got to take responsibility for not having these guys ready to play. I think it comes down to that. And we got to fix it. So we're going to practice tomorrow. We're going to tape up, and we're going to go. We're going to go hard, and we're going to get back in the gym and compete. We haven't had a tape practice I really can't remember the last time. And we desperately need it.
Like Boston, Milwaukee earlier this month, you guys had some defensive moments you liked, but that has since kind of faded away. Do you feel the same way? And if so, what do you feel like kind of led to that?
Well, we're missing some of our best defenders right now. That doesn't help, but it's not a valid excuse. We're making a lot of mistakes, and we just need to do it better, and we need to do it harder, and we need to make up for a lack of size when there's a lack of size, and we got to help each other when there's a mistake, and we're just not doing any of that well enough.
Have you noticed, or is there something specific that teams are doing differently against Tyrese in the last week, 2 weeks of the season that have kind of slowed him down?
Well, we got a huge target on our back because of winning some games in the tournament, and so the Pacers aren't sneaking up on anybody. But our mindset, if it's shifted to just simply trying to outscore teams, and away from any kind of emphasis defensively, that's got to stop. And if it means massive lineup changes, then that's what'll happen. If it means playing a slowdown game, that's what'll happen. And because at some point, it's just there aren't any excuses.
I guess if you're going to go in that direction, you're going to try to bring Jarris and Ben back from Orlando. I mean, does that because those are guys that obviously
I don't. Yeah, I mean, we'll see about that. I don't. I don't know what direction you're talking, but
you're talking about massive, potential massive lineup changes. You're really shaking it up. And you've said in the past that Ben is the guy that you like to throw in there and say that's a guy that's going to always show the effort. Does that lead you in that direction? It sounds like you really want to put the emphasis forward on these guys that it has to get better.
We have two guys tonight that have a reputation for always competing at a high level. Okay, so McConnell was a flat 0 on the plus minus, and Neesmith was a plus 16. So there you go.
All right,
those guys are setting the kind of example that we're going to stand for here.
Obviously, there wasn't a point where the defense looked particularly good, 37-40, 37-37.
Look, it was tied 23-23 with 450-something in the first quarter, and we totally missed a free throw block-out. Westbrook got it, gave it to Terrence Mann. He dunked the ball, and then everything went south from there. And so, our best players have to understand, and they have to believe that the little things are important, that concentration and focus are extremely important. And so when the best players believe it, they preach it, and it becomes gospel. It can't just be the coach, And I say players. It's not just one guy. It's not just two guys. It's the best players. And that creates the kind of culture that we need to have here, and we're just not obviously not there yet. And a lot of good things have happened, and then recently a lot of bad things that have happened. So we got to take responsibility for all of it.
What did you like from Isaiah in the points he was in? I'm sure again everybody gets blamed for what happened on defense, but obviously he at least started pretty strong, having to take over a lot of minutes.
And the big picture, he's made great strides. He's shown significant growth. He's learned the NBA game better and better and better. He's stronger, more well-conditioned, and he's one of our tough guys. So, you gotta love it. You gotta love that. And look, when the guy has been the third center and hasn't been playing, he comes in on off days and he busts his ass, and he stays ready. And so he's shown it. So, applause to him.
Ben, have you noticed any kind of theme or something you feel like has been consistently lacking for you guys during this little losing skid right now?
I would say just a presence. Presence, whether it's on defense or offense. Just got to come out and play with more energy.
You guys can't be a team that just relies on outscoring your opponent every night. What do you feel like you guys need to do better defensively, especially in these recent games where you're not even close for some of them?
I would say just take matchups personal. I think, I don't think we take matchups personal, and I think it's been one of our biggest problems, and pretty much just got to pay attention to the details. Knowing when to foul, knowing not to foul, and stuff like that.
How are you guys feeling after this stretch? Like, what was the locker room like after this one, fourth one in a row?
I would say it's kind of disappointing, just the way we came out and play. But I think the good thing about NBA is, you get a day off practice, and then you get to go back again and change the whole narrative. So we just trying to keep our head up and focus on the next thing.
34 for you tonight is a career high. What did you see that where your openings were, and why do you feel like you had such a productive night in the scoring department?
I just was just aggressive. I tried the best I could do. I hit a couple shots, was able to get to the line. Just pretty much just was reading what the defense was giving me.
I guess just keep going, man. How do you feel like we asked you a lot about your defense and everything? How do you think your offensive game is developing? Where do you feel like you obviously scored a ton of points last year? What has been like when teams learn how to defend you, you have to kind of adjust. How do you feel like you've just sort of adjusted and figured out how to make better reads, better shots, and what do you feel like is coming along for you offensively?
I would say it's pretty clear that the team knows I'm a scorer, so I feel like it says a lot about my game, and what I have to do in order to help my team win, which just finding the right plays, just making the extra pass, taking the right shots.
Ty, of course, noting that you didn't play in Minnesota, what have you seen or felt as a theme of this 4-game skid you guys are on?
Defense is the easy answer. Anytime you let a team hang 150, you're probably not going to win more times than not. We're just struggling to defend right now. I think it's understood that we're not the team that's sneaking up anymore. People are going to be prepared when they play us, and we're just we got to respond the right way. And these next 2 weeks don't really get much easier. So it's on us as a group to figure it out.
Rick mentioned something similar about you guys have the target on your back now. How do you have to change your mentality as a team as a response to that?
Just figuring it out at the end of the day, just digging down, being tougher defensively, getting some stops. Like, obviously, giving up 37 every quarter, 40 in the second, that's really a recipe for disaster. So I think ultimately it's just something that we have to figure out as a group. And I think that we got to where we were by just playing harder than people. And we're not doing that right now. So the switch has to flip here pretty quick for us to be where we want to be.
Sure seems like the last couple of weeks teams are defending you personally just a little differently with how they're pressuring you or double teaming you. Have you felt that? And if so, what do you feel like you need to do to adjust to what's now coming your way?
Yeah, teams are doing some different stuff. And that's the awesome part about the NBA is the chess match that it is running an offense. And I'm just in the middle of figuring it out right now. I will over time, but I've just been playing really poor. We've played good defenses, but I think a lot of it is on me just getting to my spots and being who I am at the end of the day. So I just got to be better.
Rick said you guys just can't rely on outscoring teams to win, and you just mentioned the defense. What do you as a team leader have to do to get everybody playing at a level that means you will win that way?
Yeah, I think the winning that we have done, I think we've just figured out how to get stops at the right time, understanding how to get runs going and things like that. And today it really didn't feel like we ever really had a run. I just felt like that the last couple of games. I just have to be better on both sides of the ball. I can't play like this on a consistent basis.
I guess to kind of stick with that, I mean, how much of tonight was them defending you well? How much was that of tonight was any part of it just sort of dealing with the knee and getting back healthy and in a rhythm? I mean, just what kind of just threw you off personally tonight?
He's fine. I just think they did a really good job. T-Man's a good defender. They had a lot of length out there defensively. But, yeah, my last 2 or 3 nights have been pretty rough. So it happens through the course of NBA season, and I'll figure it out.
When did you kind of get a sense that just defensively it wasn't there? I mean, how much of it was just the quality of opponent you guys were dealing with? Did you sense, I guess, at a point that you guys didn't have the intensity that you needed to have?
Probably in that second quarter they really got going. I mean, we were up at the end of the first and we played awful. Like we felt like we played really bad. We were winning, so we felt good about where we were because we knew we had a feeling that we'd start playing better. We never really did that. Allowed them to outscore us in the second quarter, and then guys just had it going. Kawhi had it going. PG had it going early. James had it going all night. We're talking about Hall of Fame players, you know what I mean? And you can't allow guys to get to, just wherever they want on the floor and shoot the shots that they've been shooting for a decade. We got to be better.
I guess a couple of bright spots tonight. Obviously, Isaiah had to play a lot with Miles and Jalen being out. Just what's impressed you about him? He's had a couple, good games in a row, scoring-wise and everything. How have you seen him kind of progress and come along and as he's kind of worked his way up and taken advantage of the playing time he's gotten with the
Yeah, I'm really proud of Isaiah just for being ready and understanding that our front court depth, especially to start the year, was really heavy. You know what I mean? With Tice as well, and Sticks has been playing really well. Miles has been playing well all season. I think Isaiah has done a great job of being prepared when his number is called, and you saw that tonight. I thought he was really good for us tonight. Especially early, he had some really tough finishes in the paint, stuff like that. So, kudos to him for staying ready, staying prepared, and I'm happy for him for sure.
Just wanted to go back to something Rick said was talking about just how necessary it is to get the defense right, and he said if we've got to play a slow down game, then that's what we've got to do. I mean, do you think I guess some level of drastic stuff is necessary to get it at least set in? Obviously, you guys are going to be a running team. That's your advantage. But do you feel like something as drastic is necessary to get at least some level of defensive baseline there?
Something has to be figured out. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty obvious that it's been awful through 25 games. So something has to be figured out as a group, and that starts with our first unit. And it's been a rough few weeks for us defensively, but that's the great part about the NBA. There's 82 of these. We literally play in 2 days, so it's about just keep going on that end and figuring it out. We've shown that we're capable. The Milwaukee game, the one in the in-season tournament, the Boston game, we just figured out how to get stops at the right times, and that helped us win, and we looked really good in that little run right there. So I think it's just about figuring it out as a group, and we've shown that we're capable, but it has to be consistent. That it's part of a young group is just finding consistency, and that starts with me, on both sides of the ball. I can't be playing the way I'm playing right now.
So first off, with Miles and Jalen out, new coming in this way, you're gonna have to start and have to play a lot. Just what did how do you feel like you did at the beginning, especially? What do you feel like you did just to get going early on?
I feel like I did pretty good. I sort of got burnt out at the end.
Tell her relax.
Lost some energy, but overall I think I did good. Just got to work on. I got a lot to work on, especially on the defensive end, trying to help my teammates get rebounds and stuff. But that just comes with growth and just playing. So.
It seems like you've had a lot of efficient offensive nights, recently, and scored a bunch of points and played a lot of shots. What do you feel like it's just opened up for you in there? What do you feel like you've done to kind of get yourself space around the rim and opportunities to score?
I think just mentally, I think something just mentally for me changed. I was just low-key out there just panicking, and my anxiety was everywhere. But I've been sort of meditating more and getting into my word. And I think mentally it just been helping me. So it just opened everything up for me.
I guess tell me a little bit more about that. I mean, what was happening in the course of games when you talk about panicking a little bit? What would kind of set you sideways, I guess, and what were you able to kind of focus on and block out?
Just sort of just overthinking. A lot of the guys was telling me, like, because I didn't believe it at first, but a lot of like veteran guys and stuff was just like, man, just calm down. And I started like listening, and I mean, just I think the off the court stuff, just meditating, praying, and just sort of just staying true to me. I think that just sort of helped on the court. So.
To that end, Ty was just talking about how early season when you were out of the rotation, sometimes he'd talk to you about mentality and things like that.
Yeah.
Is this stretch any more relieving or special for you just having it after the start of the season you had?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like anybody start off slow and then start sort of playing better. I think anybody feel some type of way about it, but I mean, I'm not satisfied, especially with the way I'm playing. I'm just not satisfied at all. So, man, still got a lot to work on and grow on. So,
you seen any themes or anything specific you feel like has led to this skid for you guys these last 4 games?
I have no clue, to be honest. But I mean, we just gotta sort of get back to where we were, especially on the defensive end. I feel like that's something we really need to sort of key in on and work on. Even myself, just rotations, talking more, communicating, stuff like that. But I mean, I feel like we'll get through it. I mean, we got time, rather now than later in the playoff or when we get to the playoff end of the season. So we're gonna get it together.